Hi guys and welcome back to the channel once again. Today I'm finally able to talk to you about the recent Bandai Showcase event that I attended in London last week. Bandai Namco are known for bringing Eastern games to the West in many different forms. They invited us and other creators and media to come have a look at what they've got coming soon this year. We were treated to a presentation about the 5 games we'll be checking out that day, with information about each and best of all, a hands-on session to record some of our own gameplay. And so for this video I'd like to share with you a quick look at these games and provide some information and talk about my overall experience with each one. You might find out about something you didn't already know, or get some more information on something you're already looking forward to, but without further ado, let's get into the video. Let's start with the first game I picked to play, which is My Hero 1's Justice 2, the Hero Academia fighter game, and obviously the second in the series. I'd say that most anime fans are going to be aware of My Hero Academia, the giant shonen series of this generation. My Hero 1's Justice aims to bring you into that world and play as its characters in this 3D arena fighter, pitting you against both heroes and villains from the universe and allowing you to form your own teams for some unique interactions and special attacks. You will be able to play through that original storyline and fight in the memorable battles of the series, and it's set to pick up at the end of the first game as you might expect. The original character roster is definitely buffed out with many new additions you can see here. There's a wide selection of choices, each coming with their own style of fighting, animations, and all-important plus ultra attacks. To say the least, the gameplay is a bit of a feast for your eyes, right? Really straightforward in its concept. It really captures the hero universe and drops you right into that action. Not only are you going to be able to play as your chosen character or whoever you're playing in the story at the time, but you've got supporting characters to form a team with. Based on who you pick, they might synergize really well with each other. Like in this gameplay where I chose both Froppy and Momo as my sidekicks, I was able to do a special launch attack where I launched myself as Stain at the opponent using this combined team attack. These sidekicks can be used together or alone one by one, even while you're stunned yourself, which makes for a great way to escape a combo or suppress the enemy while you're moving. I found the camera quite clever. It swaps between the perspectives seamlessly without losing track of yourself as you play. And with the wide selection of characters, I had more options than I actually had time to play around with. Each character's vibe was spot on though, in the combos, the heavy attacks, and of course the plus ultra attacks too. Given the fairly simple nature of the combat though, it is really easy to pick up and play, but there isn't any crazy depth to it because of that. I think it's more about the vibe, you know, fighting your friends, playing in this universe, getting to play as these characters. It's a well-polished My Hero game, and it's coming out on March 13th, so very soon. That'll cover it for our My Hero section, so let's move on to game number 2, Sword Art Online, Alicization, Lycoris. Lycoris? Try saying that 3 times fast if you can. I'm not gonna because I can't. Sword Art Online is a widely known anime, one of the major titles to kick off this current mad trend of isekai animes where that main character suddenly is transported or reborn or whatever in a new world. This one, of course, being set in a fantasy MMO with beautiful environments, massive monsters, villages, towns, NPCs, other players, and since its original release, Sword Art has seen multiple series set in different games or worlds. And Alicization continues with that theme in its 4th major story arc. This game version of that arc follows that original storyline set in the same world to explore as up to 4 characters at once. Following through the world and story, you're able to bounce between these characters mid-combat. You can directly control each one or use quick commands as you go for easier use. With the ability to unleash tons of spells or special attacks, each character has a lot to offer, and you're going to find a lot of different ways to overwhelm the enemy or bosses. Most of the story of this game will be those major moments from the original story, but an entirely new character and story is there to follow alongside it too. At the event, we had a chance to play 2 different demos, an open world exploration or a more late game boss fight. I went with the open world to explore and be less limited, and as you can see, since it's a traditional JRPG, you progress your character with XP, you can unlock more abilities, you improve your synergy with your team, and go explore the world. We did only have a short look with this one. It was a very short 10-minute demo, and I can say that it definitely captures the Sword Art universe well. A JRPG is a perfect choice for an anime about a JRPG world. Being able to just be in that world and explore it is more than likely exactly what a superfan wants. I do worry about the combat feeling a bit slow though. Naturally, I only had a little bit of time to play around with this, and there felt like a lot of options and ways to control the characters in unison or separately, but I did find it a bit clunky to pick up and play. Maybe with more experience I'd feel more confident about that, but for now though, this Sword Art game is set to release soon, May 22nd for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and of course, PC. Moving on to our third game, Captain Tsubasa. We talked about Tsubasa in depth in a dedicated video just last week, so I strongly recommend you check it out for a proper rundown of this game. To say the least, it surprised me in how fun and intense it was. This giantly successful manga brought into the current generation of games. It looks phenomenal, it feels phenomenal, it was super smooth to play, and it was really satisfying to outplay the opponents with smart passes, spirit-based dodges or tackles, and those all-important anime AF super shots. I can say with confidence that this is a fantastic game and one I never expected to like as much as I did, because I didn't even know what it was on the day that it was just there. Go check out our dedicated video on this one, I don't think you'll regret it. With that, let's talk about our second to last game of the video, One Piece Pirate Warriors 4. One Piece, you might not have heard of this one, it's only been releasing new episodes of its anime for 1 billion years. One of my favorite anime series I've ever seen. A diverse, colourful world with insane character designs and open seas dotted with the most insane islands and people with great stories, hilarious moments, and some top tier anime fights. You can't go wrong with that. This One Piece game series, Pirate Warriors, has seen many titles since this is now the 4th one in the series. And it's focused on that Musu style of game, i.e. Dynasty Warriors. You play as a big beefy fighter who takes on hundreds and hundreds of enemies at a time and face off against other big bads too. The perfect setup for a One Piece game since the scope of the fighting is so high these days. Unfortunately for me, I didn't get a chance to capture footage of this one at the event though. There was some strict parameters to the demo in that we couldn't record anything but a specific section of the gameplay that first had to be set up by someone before we could record, so I spent more time on other games. But what I can tell you is that with this title, you can expect more crazy fights following the multiple major storyline arcs. They have Alabasta, the Enies Lobby, Marineford, Dressrosa, the recent Big Mama storyline, and a new game exclusive one with the Land of Wano. They've got new mechanics in this one like flight combat and playing as giants for the first time too, but I can confidently say that these games are a really good celebration of One Piece, a fun way to experience those stories again or for the first time, and I couldn't think of a better genre of game to put One Piece into as well. This is coming very soon, the 27th of March, so you're not gonna have to wait long. Finally though, it's the last game we checked out of the event, the One Punch Man game, A Hero Nobody Knows. Let me just say right off the bat, I was quite worried about this game. I thought there was every chance they'd just slap together a shallow fighter with a small roster of characters and just leave it at that. And they did so much more than that. One Punch Man, outrageously successful, finally gets a game, right? It's a fighter set in the same universe in which horrible monsters and worldwide threats are pretty normal, and the world relies on these heroes to prevent that destruction. But how do you make a game about Saitama, One Punch Man, a hero who wins every fight with just one punch? It's actually kind of genius. Whichever team he's on, he's late. So if you choose your 3 characters and one of them's One Punch Man, he's just late. So you're playing and fighting with just 2 characters instead until he shows up. And when he does, he just wins the fight in a single hit. So the more damage you do and avoid during the time that he's like trying to find you and reach the fight, the faster that timer goes down and then he shows up sooner. That's a fun and clever mechanic, but that wouldn't work for the entire game. No, of course not. So if you want to jump in a similar to that My Hero game and play as the many heroes or villains in 3-man teams against each other in that PvP or PvE style, you can. But where this game really shines is that surprisingly expansive RPG that it all revolves around. You get to play as that hero that nobody knows. You create your own character and hero, as you can see me doing, and start your story as a wannabe hero working your way up the ranks. You constantly bump into major characters and play with and against them, and you'll see those major story moments as you go. It's kind of like inserting yourself into the world and experiencing it from your own perspective. With other RPG elements like this hub that slowly expand by progressing the story, side quests and other missions, you gather experience and level up to unlock more ability from your character. In this demo, we were able to select 4 different fighting styles to begin with: standard, power, psychic, and a weapon type A, aka the bat. Clearly, you're going to be able to unlock more than that, and more than likely it's going to be the styles of the heroes in the game. As you progress more with each style and use it more, you get to unlock more killer movesets, attack variants, and supers too. You're able to swap these abilities and combat styles between fights and bring a different fighting style every time. Anytime you're in a team, you can swap in and out between the characters for an entirely different playstyle and moveset and try and maximize your character's health pools. I found all of this surprisingly in-depth and nicely varied. The move lists, or types of attacks I could do, just kept going, and that was in just one battle type at the time. Outside the surprising RPG elements, it was a really good way to see more of each major character. You know, the roster is solid from the characters that we've seen in the game so far, but many of these characters we've only really had glimpses of in the show or even the manga, and here we can really explore the fighting style of each character and spend more time with the hero that we like. But for now, I think I'll have to leave it at that. I did not expect it to be that in-depth of a game. Loads of clever game mechanics, that RPG style of game to go alongside it. Suddenly, I'm looking forward to seeing more of this game, and specifically, most of all, the outrageous characters we're going to see people make. Some people at the event made some very creative characters, and I imagine Reddit's going to have a lot of fun with this one. It's coming super soon though, the 27th of February, just 1 month away, so I'm looking forward to that. For now though, that'll have to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed this talk about the event and these games, and a huge thank you to Bandai for having me there to try these games. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to ask any questions about my experience with the games in the comments, and I'll answer anything I'm able to. I've been Hollow, you've been you, and I'll see you guys next time.